Well, next, the latest from the Committee of Inquiry hearing on the Little India riot. The focus was on why forces from the Special Operations Command did not make mass arrests when they arrived at the scene, despite instructions from the Acting Commissioner of Police. Deputy Assistant Commissioner DAC Scott Arul explained why the priority was to disperse the crowd instead.
The rioters were violent. This was the reason DAC Scott Arul instructed his troops to disperse rather than arrest the rioters. DAC Scott Arul, who's also the Deputy Commander of SOC, said there are factors to consider before making an arrest. One of them is whether the situation has been partially or totally contained, a condition he felt wasn't met that night. He also described the level of violence as something he had never witnessed before. He said SOC officers go through a lot of simulated riot training, which would give them confidence to deal with such incidents. But that night was different. The burning vehicles, the roar of the rioters, the sounds of broken glass and concrete were all unfamiliar to DAC Scott Arul. The committee heard how the forces advanced towards the crowds, causing them to disperse. DAC Scott Arul said the presence of SOC officers can be intimidating, especially when they move in unison towards the crowd in full gear or gear 3. To give an idea of how SOC officers look in full gear, DAC Scott Arul arranged for one officer to turn up in gear 3 at the inquiry. Now there he explained to the committee the kinds of equipment he could use, including his baton, shields and tear gas canisters. DAC Scott Arul also said because of the gear and training, SOC officers are better equipped to engage the crowd compared to other police officers.